Hello, good evening to you and a warm welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojobaka. Economist Professor Patrick Esuming has joined calls for expenditure and tax rationalization in the 2025 budget. According to him, beyond the scrapping of taxes and levies like the betting, COVID-19 and others, there is still room for more innovative ways to generate revenue. His concern is coming at a time Cabinet has given its approval to the 2025 budget that will be presented by Finance Minister Dr. Kasiela Tufosin to Parliament next Tuesday. Now, speaking to Joy Business, Professor Esuming stated that government must enhance enforcement and compliance.
Well, I think the government has made it clear in its campaign that it's going to remove some taxes. I am extremely supportive of removing the e-levy. I don't know whether the government will go ahead and remove the COVID-19 levy and then also the betting tax. But I still feel that there's room to remove those taxes and still find ways to plug the hole. So there's been a lot of talk about tax rationalization of the tax system. I suspect that will include removing some of the VAT exemptions and then also making it more uniform. At the moment, there's too much discrepancy, different segments applying different rates, and of course, so I think all that rationalization, if it simplifies the system and remove a lot of the exemptions, I think that will help. The finance minister during the vetting made a clear point that he is not very supportive of the exemptions. So I think that is good. And then there's still room, even within VAT. We are not even collecting 60% of our potential. So if we're able to improve the enforcement and the collection, that is enough to bring us more than enough savings to make up for any expenditure, any revenue losses from those taxes.
Policy lead conventional energy at ASEP, Kojo Yauche, is upbeat the construction of a second gas processing plant will augment country's energy security while minimizing shortfalls in the energy sector. Although he welcomed the move, he is concerned about the funding of the facility. Reacting to the development, Mr. Yauche said the move is long overdue.
I think the second train of the gas processing plant is long overdue. This was supposed to come, I think, some 2 or 3 years after the first train was brought in 2015. And if you look at how much gas we've been flaring over the period, in 2023 alone, the gas we flared, if we were supposed to commercialize it and use it for power production, that would have earned us some $287 million. So having a processing plant that is able to commercialize this gas instead of flaring it, which goes against our zero flaring policy and also our climate commitments on methane emission and all of these things, is welcome news. It could have come sooner. Now, what is important is where do we get the money for to finance that facility? And we are hopeful that in the upcoming budget next week, there will be some indication on the financing and arrangements for that facility to be done. So it's very important that we get it.
I want to stay all longer within the energy space because the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapor, has dismissed claims that government intends to sell the Electricity Company of Ghana and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company known as NEDCO. Addressing journalists at Jubilee House, John Jinapor clarified that no decision has been made to privatize these state-owned power distributors.
Cabinet is also committed to ensuring that we involve private sector participation at the downstream distribution sector. Let me reiterate without equivocation that we have not taken a decision to sell ECG or NEDCO. ECG is supposed to collect over 2 billion. They collect only 1.5 billion, leaving a deficit of 500 million cedis every month. That sums up to about 6 billion per annum. That cannot continue. Government must do something about it, and we are determined to do something about it in partnership with local content-led private sector participation. And we think that that is the right way to go about it. It will be done in a competitive, transparent process, giving priority to Ghanaian entrepreneurs and Ghanaian businesses. And we believe that that would help tame the situation.
Away from the energy sector, VL Exposure, a leading business development and training organization, has taken a step to support the growth of entrepreneurship and startups in Ghana. The organization has concluded a comprehensive training program designed to equip entrepreneurs and startups with the skills, knowledge, and expertise needed to succeed in a competitive business landscape. More in this report. The training program, which was attended by over 50 entrepreneurs and startups, covered a range of topics including business planning, marketing, finance, and leadership. Participants also had the opportunity to engage with experienced business mentors and industry experts who shared valuable insights and practical advice on how to navigate the challenges of starting and growing a business. Chief Executive Officer of VL Exposure, Victoria Lebene Osafo Nkansa, tells Joy Business their goal is to empower entrepreneurs and startups with the skills and knowledge they need to succeed.
VL Exposure 2025 is here, and it was built upon impact, partnership, and success. There is very less collaboration going on in our country, and I believe that if you look at the outside world, there's a lot of collaboration going on, partnerships going on. You cannot be a business and stand alone. You need to join hands, stretch your hands across boundaries, and so that you can excel properly. You can showcase your products, your service properly, and not just sticking to your own comfort zone. And so that's why the VL Exposure came about. We decided to build something that would promote more collaboration and partnership among businesses, and also use that platform to showcase their brands, their services, their products, while we still empower the young generation, the people who don't know what entrepreneurship or business is all about, but they have that enthusiasm. Then the VL Exposure is all for.
Business mogul and entrepreneur Prince Kofi Amoabeng urged government to ensure its support to startups are people who have the right capacity to make the significant impact in the SME sector.
The government has to create an enabling environment, and then let those who have the ideas and the commitment and all that with the right merit come out on top. Most of the time, some of these people who the government will try to create are people who are foot soldiers or supporters, and they think it's a payback time, so they're not committed to the business, and therefore the money that they get, they know they will not pay for it because it's through their hard work and bring the government of the day to power. But notwithstanding that, I think we can actually put structures in it, train them, give them ideas, and make sure they have some incubative business, and give them the leadership skills, the finance skills, and the literacy, so that those who are serious can actually create something out of it. So government shouldn't be giving jobs willy-nilly. Before you try to create entrepreneurs that necessarily want to create, make sure they have what it takes to actually use the monies that they can access from the government funds.
The VL Exposure Trading Program is part of a broader effort to support the growth of entrepreneurship and startups in Ghana. For Joy Business, Pius Kojubaka. Stakeholders have gathered at the Partnering for Change event to discuss advancing women's economic empowerment through systematic change. Under the theme Women Economic Empowerment, the Systems Change, the event addressed challenges faced by women and entrepreneurs and, of course, explored innovative solutions for inclusion in equity. Helena Akai filed this report.
Event provided a platform for transformative dialogue between public, private, and social sector actors to foster more sustainable entrepreneurial ecosystem. Chief Executive for Reach for Change emphasized the need for the summit, highlighting key obstacles women encounter.
The first one is the access to capital. What happens is that there are other credit structures that often women face. With higher interest rates and these kinds of issues. We also know that female entrepreneurs get other questions when they're trying to access venture capital, for example. They might be asked questions on risk or questions on, what plan do you have if things will go wrong, rather than questions that male counterparts or male entrepreneurs get, which are often around opportunity and how they're going to grow their business and vision. So that's just an example of how kind of the way we do things unintentionally, those kind of structural barriers that are in place actually don't foster female entrepreneurship.
Meanwhile, Head of Inclusive Growth and Accountable Governance at UNDP Ghana, Dr. Edward Amprachum, outlined 3 key pillars essential for empowering women economically.
1. Access to finance and closing the gender funding gap. The financing gap for women entrepreneurs in sub-Saharan Africa, as I indicated earlier, it's estimated at $42 billion. Despite the strong repayment records of women only experience a small fraction of investment capital compared to their male counterparts. 2. Enabling policies, building an inclusive business environment. For us, we argue that government has a responsibility to create policies that remove legal and structural barriers for women entrepreneurs. The third one is focusing on skills, network, and data transformation. Beyond finance and policy, we need capacity building, giving women entrepreneurs the skills, tools, and networks to succeed. Digital transformation is a key equalizer. Women entrepreneurs need digital literacy, e-commerce access, and tech-driven solutions to scale their business.
The discussion reinforced the urgency of fostering an entrepreneurial ecosystem that provides equitable access to financial resources, mentorship, and policy support for women in business.
As we continue to celebrate our women, Geisha brand says it will support women with various soft skills with some 100,000 Ghana cedis. Marketing manager Derek Bosman says this is to give back to women who have patronized their products over the years. He spoke to Joy Business at the National Women's Summit and Expo event.
7th edition, but Geisha has officially been part of this program for the past 3 years. Now, what we are doing this year, which is different, is we are taking into consideration the kind of products that we have in our portfolio. Our products are made of natural ingredients. When we take the Geisha Black Soup, which is our newest baby in town, is made of activated charcoal together with cocoa butter. And these are ingredients that are coming from nature and is more or less like a gift to us. So one thing we want to do this year going forward is creating an avenue for women that are doing businesses in these particular value chain. So whether a woman is into the production value chain or the processing value chain, what Geisha wants to do is give them an equal opportunity where they can thrive. As part of the commitment that we have to this particular event, we are scouting for 10 women across the country. We are giving out over 100,000 Ghana cedis in financial support and also soft skills training. We want to sort of identify women that are playing a major critical role in the production of these natural ingredients, and then we help support them by giving them financial aid alongside giving them the opportunity to learn from the aspects. Learn financing, learn budgeting, learn soft skills, presentation, all of those things, just so that we can help them to accelerate action and to make a difference in society.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Margaret Anseh, is entreating financial institutions in the country to enhance access to funding to women-led businesses. According to her, despite plans by government to set up the Women's Development Bank, existing financial institutions must help create a favorable business environment for women. She was speaking at a celebration to mark International Women's Day.
Women's Day celebration by the Ghana Enterprises Agency focused on the need for both government and private financial sectors to create a more supportive business environment for female entrepreneurs. The celebration brought together stakeholders including policymakers, business leaders, and advocacy groups, all focused on advancing women's economic participation. Speaking to Joy Business, Chief Executive of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Margaret Anseh, appealed to financial institutions to foster growth of women-owned businesses.
We are here to speak to our policymakers to make women entrepreneurs getting the policies that will facilitate how to get their certification. The laws should be very friendly for them to thrive with their businesses both locally and internationally. We are here to build MSMEs, the small, the micro, the small, the medium enterprises. We need the support of our founding members, our financial supporters, our policy makers to make this happen. We say if a woman is economically empowered, homes, are comfortable, our children are comfortable, the community flourish, and everybody is happy, especially at home with our children, our husbands, and our family members. So today we are just telling everybody, let's make women businesses grow.
Greater Accra Regional Minister Linda Kwele-Okulu called for enhanced capacity building for women-led businesses to improve their growth and expand their markets.
We must continue to invest in capacity building programs that enhance women's skills and knowledge, enabling them to scale up their enterprise and contribute meaningfully to the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, market expansion is crucial for economic growth, and women-led businesses must be at the forefront of this expansion. As a government, we are committed to supporting policies that provide market access, financial support, and business-friendly environments for women.
The celebration was themed Accelerating Growth to Empower Women and Expand Markets.
The Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana is lamenting low budgetary allocation to the sector. According to the Chief Executive of the Chamber, Joseph Ajika, the sector, which is actively addressing the gap in fish production, needs an increased support to help reduce importation of fish in the country. He spoke to Joy Business at the Women in Agriculture celebration as part of International Women's Day.
The Women in Aquaculture celebration, organized to mark International Women's Day, recognized the vital contributions of women in the aquaculture industry and also provided a platform to discuss the challenges facing the sector, particularly its financial constraints. Speaking to Joy Business at the celebration, Chief Executive of the Chamber of Aquaculture Ghana, Fajika, expressed disappointment over the current budgetary allocation, highlighting the sector's significant potential in reducing the reliance on fish imports.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture and the Fisheries Commission oversee three sectors: the marine, inland, and aquaculture. If you look at the budgetary allocation for these three sectors, a lot is allocated to the marine and the inland sectors. And in the aquaculture sector, only a few resources are allocated to that sector. And if you look at the statistics in terms of fish production for Ghana, Ghana has three main sources of fish: the marine, inland, and aquaculture sectors. The marine and the inland side are depleting very fast, and aquaculture keeps on showing promising signs. The data from there keeps on going up each year, and it appears the sector that is doing very well is receiving less resources. And we think that it's time to increase budget allocation to the aquaculture sector, because if you allocate more resources to that sector, we can actually scale up the production and also increase our contribution to the country's GDP at the moment.
Chief Executive of Crystal Lake Fish Limited, Patricia Safo, emphasized the contribution of women in the sector to general fish output in the country.
Women entrepreneurs have been involved in large-scale aquaculture from its inception over a decade ago. I don't need to mention names, but suffice it to say that until recently, the president of the Ghana Aquaculture Association for many years was a woman. And in small-scale aquaculture, women are involved all over the world. In fact, the bulk of young entrepreneurs entering into aquaculture in the last few years, especially in Greater Accra region, are women.
The Women in Aquaculture celebration was themed Connecting Change Makers, fostering collaboration among women in aquaculture.
You're still watching Prime Business. Member of Parliament for Setria from Plains, Masira Frajache, has stressed the need to drive socio-economic growth within the district through collective effort. She said the district will be heavy on agriculture to support Ghana's economy. She was speaking at the 68th Ghana's Independence Day celebration in her district.
She emphasized agriculture's central role in the district economy, stressing the importance of adopting modern farming practices, improving market access, and upgrading infrastructure to support local farmers.
As we celebrate Ghana's 68th Independence Day, let us recommit ourselves to the value of freedom, justice, and equality. Let us work together to build a brighter future for our district, our region, and our nation. As we celebrate nation's independence, let us not forget the struggle of our forebears. Let us honor the legacy by working together to build a better future for our district and our country. I believe in the sexual fountain dreams, when we will bequeath to our children a thriving and prosperous district. We must work together to turn the tide to our advantage. In conclusion, I wish to express my gratitude to the organizers of this event and to everyone who worked tirelessly to make this celebration a success. Let us all take a moment to reflect.
Despite its rich agricultural potential, Central Front Plains continues to face infrastructure deficit, limited healthcare access, and underdeveloped educational facilities.
You're still watching Prime Business, and that's it for the bulletin. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Next on your screens will be Sarah Mensah, our sports presenter, and of course, her profile shortly on your screens.
Sarah Mensah is a dynamic journalist with the Multimedia Group, passionate about politics, governance, and community development. She plays a key role in producing some of Ghana's most impactful political programs, including PM Express, the Mandate of Voter Education Show, along with several influential radio programs. Through her work, she contributes to shaping national conversations and providing insightful political analysis. Beyond journalism, Sarah is also an entrepreneur and philanthropist. She is the founder of City Code Collection, a unisex boutique in Sakaman that offers a diverse range of fashion accessories, reflecting her keen eye for style and business acumen. Her passion for social impact led her to establish the SM Cares Foundation, a charity dedicated to supporting orphans and vulnerable children, ensuring they have access to essential resources and opportunities for a better future. As we celebrate International Women's Day 2025, Sarah stands as a testament to resilience, purpose, and impact. She continues to break barriers in journalism, business, and philanthropy, proving that women can excel in multiple fields while making a lasting difference in their communities. Here's to every woman shaping a better future.